was born in the dungeon of Newmarket. They set about wandering through the respective dungeons, gathering all the things they needed to complete their respective Triforce of Wisdom. Unknowns to Kristen, Hunter was busy completing 8 of the dungeons, which brings us to today for the completion of the 9th dungeon, where Kristen has finally been rescued by her Link, and Ganon has been defeated. Now they start the next quest together. So, a little bit of background on Kristen. I've always called her my munchkin. She's been an awesome daughter. And she's taken all of the things that she's collected from the dungeon of her mother and I, and she's grown and blossomed into a beautiful, intelligent, and loving young Princess Zelda. And she spent a lot of time working on her own Triforce of Wisdom. But Kristen told me that I could not give her away at a wedding because she is not a possession. How wise she has grown. Some of us might not think so, but I've always called her my munchkin, but she is very much her own person. When Jason returned from his Korean dungeon, I finally got to meet him. And if first impressions are good, chances are that the person you're meeting is a real gem. Jason came to dinner bearing gifts. He's lovely 2 wooden geese. And I'll tell you the story about that.
This is so cute.
If I can keep from crying again.
Jamie, move your head forward.
We came for dinner. I learned what kind of person Jason really was. He sat down on the couch with me, and Kristen said, well, you know, Jason's got a present for you. Okay, and I'll stop calling him Jason, I'll call him Jason now.
Thank you, I was confused too.
He told me about when he was in Korea. It was the custom when a young man wanted to marry a young lady that he had to go to the bride's parents and give her 2 live geese, because live geese made forever. Not being able to bring live geese home from Korea, he brought me the 2 wooden geese. And I was a basket case full of tears. I knew that day very well that Kristen had found her Link. He impressed me so much that I started to open up and told him about when I first met Kristen's mother. And Kristen's mother's father, as we affectionately call him, the old goat, or the man from Plaid. He was a little bit of a country bumpkin, but he told me that he expected a dowry for his daughter, which was 2 bags of carrots, or 2 bags of potatoes and a bag of carrots. The story went on for many, many years. But Grandpa was a lovable country boy. Hunter continued involving me in all sorts of different things and impressing me and the kind of gentleman that he is. He included me and my family in his proposal to Kristen, to the point of when we asked Kristen to marry her, he said that there was going to be some sort of fire involved.
This was what he told me for months. Because the proposal, by the way, that fire was involved.
So we had a little bit of a dinner, and it was kind of difficult to try to facilitate the whole thing, because Jason or Hunter said, "Oh, we have to walk home because Ken has to go," and I think where I was taking Kirk or Rachel back to Wellington or something. Said so we couldn't take them home; they'd have to walk home. Kristen was not feeling very well that day and didn't like the idea of having to walk home. So as it got dark, we'd all gathered in my truck, and Jason, Hunter, I'm sorry, had given me a bucket of fireworks, and as they crossed the baseball diamond just beside the highway, I lit off the fireworks. He dropped to his knee and he proposed to Kristen. And then I jumped on my pickup truck and got the hell out of there because I thought the cops were coming after me.
Well, we had a safe house right next door.
This past Father's Day, he impressed me again. He showed up for dinner with 2 bags of potatoes and a bag of carrots. So the dowry is now fulfilled. A life together is all about growth as a couple. Kristen's mother and I were married for 28 years before Helen's untimely passing. During those 28 years, I was somewhat of a typical dad, being busy, going to work, not really spending a lot of time with my family as I probably should have. Just trying to make sure that everyone was paid for and everybody was looked after. I always made time for important things like the recitals, the West Lane band, even a few basketball games, and 1 or 2 broken bones. I was not always there to be as supportive as I should be. You see, I'm still working on my own Triforce of Wisdom. About a year after Kristen's mom passed, I met Princess Christine at the dungeon on the Welland Cow. You know what I'm afraid of. I had never intended to get married a second time, but that soon changed. I learned that this wonderful Princess Christine could help me gather the things required to complete my Triforce of Wisdom. She's taught me to love family and friends for who they are, not what I expect of them. She's helped me grow in ways I could never have imagined. Almost 10 years later, I expect to see at least that 25+ milestone with Christine. One of the most important parts of the Triforce is communication. Couples have to communicate effectively, and it's generally a difficult quest for the male, because Gannon has put many obstacles in his path. So listen up there, Hunter. This is where the Princess Christine has helped me to grow. So, Kristen and Jason, a little advice. Kristen, you didn't think you'd get away without a lecture from Dad, did you? So here's a few things for your quest. Love each other and learn to grow together. Respect each other's individuality, all the while working for a common quest. Never stop communicating, and don't go to bed without resolving your differences. We are all in this together. Our families are intertwined. We will always be here to help in good times and in bad. Make time for each other and the most important things in life, your family. Put aside your own issues so you can be there when the other person needs you. Laugh, love, and cry together. It's good for your soul. And remember the quest for the grandchildren, because we patiently wait that one. So I'd like to raise my glass and propose a toast to Kristen and Hunter, and to Hunter's family for helping me become the wonderful young gentleman that he is. Kristen, Hunter's family and friends that have been there to support them all along the way. And to the great joy of having our families become intertwined. So, on to the next quest.
Here, here. Yes.